Welcome to the Off Nerd Podcast, our spooky spectacular. I'm here with my co-hosts Dan and Greg.
I thought that was 2 weeks from now.
No, it's all of
The
October.
whole month. It's spooky
You weren't
spectacular.
very specific.
I know
about
I wasn't very specific. I'm
Well,
never
we only-
very specific about anything.
We only have 2 shows in October.
I understand that. It didn't make sense for it to be 1 week, but he acted like the next week.
I understand that.
Yeah, no. I am very bad at explaining things.
By the way, hello.
Hello.
Yes, starting us off with an argument. Good show writing. So let's get right into the news.
There's a script I don't know about.
Yeah, there's a script you don't know about.
Apparently.
First piece of news
It's in his
was
head that he never shares with us.
Ryan Reynolds dropped on Twitter and his YouTube that he is officially working on Deadpool 3, and he got Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine for it.
That's gonna be an awesome movie.
Yes, I believe it's going to be really good.
As long as Wolverine does a song and dance number, we're good.
Yeah, something.
Because that's what Hugh Jackman does.
Yeah, right.
He does Broadway
So
stuff.
yeah, I hope they make a lot of Broadway jokes.
Just the
I'm sure there's gonna be Broadway jokes in there, without a doubt. I obviously don't know what the chemistry is between them,
Oh, it's good.
but I think it's gonna be. They're really close friends, though.
Yeah,
Right?
it gets really good because they'll start ripping on each other there for when they when Hugh Jackman did his gin or whatever liquor.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds started.
Ryan Reynolds has
he has a gin.
gin, and then Jackman I think has whiskey.
Yeah. Either way, there was a long period of like right when Hugh Jackman started his. Ryan Reynolds started his gin and just kept making.
Yeah, I
jokes.
remember they were
Like
going
a
back
little-
and forth with
a
each other.
flame war. It was funny.
I remember.
Um,
Is Gambit coming back? Is Josh Brolin coming back as Gambit?
we don't know. You mean Cable?
Cable, my bad.
Gambit's the Cajun guy.
Yeah, okay.
I'm hoping. They haven't confirmed anything. The only thing they've also said about is Brad Pitt being Mr. Disappear.
Mr. Invisible or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Invisible or
The Vanisher.
the Vanisher.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it. Good job, Dan. We knew you.
That's just another invisible guy. How many can there be?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. We knew.
It was
Mr. Invisible.
it was hilarious in the second one though when they did the end credits and it has Brad Pitt's name next to the Vanisher.
Well, they showed him when he got electrocuted. It showed Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like very, really fast.
Yeah, that was such a great thing where they hyped up the X-Force thing and just killed him off immediately. So,
You think Domino comes back?
oh, I hope so. She is so hot.
Well, she was the only one that survived, right?
Yeah. Well, no, remember they reset the time.
of the whatever
X-Force.
X-Force or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Remember,
That's what I
the
mean.
real X-Force.
Right.
Remember he reset the timeline and saved.
Oh yeah, he did go back.
He
Yeah,
saved
you're
the
right.
one guy. He just saved the
regular-
Just a regular guy.
Regular
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Who has both type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
So, other news. This one's really quick, and we're just gonna get our sighs and hate out of the way. Chris Pratt's super excited about being Mario.
What?
You didn't hear? I thought we talked about this.
We've had these chats.
I probably blacked it out.
Well, you probably went through trauma and you put it in the back of your head and put it away.
There's no live action version of Mario Brothers.
And no, it's not.
It's a animated.
Animated like that. I mean, it looks good, but Chris Pratt and
as an Italian guy.
yeah.
No.
From
No,
what I-
Dan wasn't here for that when we talked about
From
that.
what I heard, he actually does a really good job of it. I can't believe it.
Well,
but-
you hear
Then
a lot
again,
of
it's
things.
a stereotypical
They also
Italian
have,
accent too. It's
right.
not like a real.
yeah, right.
They also have Jack Black as Bowser.
I think Jack Black would be a good Bowser. To be honest with you.
Because Bowser doesn't have much of a
No,
personality.
not at
in video
all.
games
Yeah,
either
right.
Anyway, he's just kind of like a big gruff guy.
Fair enough.
I'm going to kidnap the princess, and that's all he does.
So there's that for the also part of this.
Why are we bringing this up?
What?
We beat this horse to death.
No, we didn't. It was just me and you. Apparently, Dan doesn't remember. We blacked it out. No, I'm just because it was just an article was released on it, starting to show clips and stuff.
When's it come out?
2023 now. They pushed it back a year.
Again?
Yes. It's supposed to be the beginning of 2023, like January, but they pushed it back to end of 2023. And the last one for Halloween's sake is they did a reboot / continuance of the movie Hellraiser.
With the woman.
Yes.
Right.
I'm actually looking forward to it. It releases tomorrow on Hulu, so I'm going to watch it.
Tomorrow.
Yes, on Hulu. it looks really good. I was reading a lot of articles on it. Like,
Well, I seen the pictures of her.
yeah,
I didn't really read any articles on it though.
yeah. Well, I posted.
Hellraiser was more your thing than mine.
Yeah, it is in between there, and me and Dan were talking about
So
it.
she looks like Pinhead, except
She's a female.
she's a she, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty
There's
much
literally no difference.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I mean, the voice.
Yeah,
would be-
that's
obviously
no.
would
Her,
That's- That's part and parcel to being
remind
a
me
woman.
to play the
instead of a
trailer
man.
later because her trailer voice, like, it's really gruff and
Really?
yeah, it's really gruff. Well, the reason why she did it that way is because like she was trying to pay homage to the original guy. She didn't want to overdo him, but she didn't want to like completely try to abandon his hard work. You know, like they kind of do with Freddy Krueger, where they just kind of
No one's going to replace Robert Englund as.
yeah. But what I'm saying, but instead of trying to replace him, she's trying to like pay homage and still keep it going. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good.
You know who Robert Englund wants to play Freddy?
Who?
Kevin Bacon. He wants Kevin Bacon to play
They
Freddy.
look similar.
Yeah, that's actually.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm saying
No,
that's
I'm just
who
saying
that's who he wants to.
And actually, you could see Kevin Bacon being creepy the way he smiles sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right?
But that's who he wants to play him.
What do you think William Dafoe would fit?
I think William Dafoe would be an awesome Freddy.
He'd be scary.
I just don't know if he would.
He
do
wouldn't
it.
even just.
he's more of like he wants
He's like
good acting job,
Yeah.
not just.
Yeah.
he's like retired now, though, isn't he?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question since we're shooting the breeze. Speaking of Freddy, what younger actor do you think could try to even compete with that role, or at least try to carry that role? Because Robert Englund's not going to be around forever.
He said he would do one more.
I know. And Rorschach isn't going to do another one.
Rorschach. You don't even know his real name.
I can't think of his
Neither
name.
do I, but
I think he would be. That movie would be boycotted if he did another one.
I honestly think that was more
I thought he sucked.
I think that was more of a directorial thing. I think that was the writers. I don't think that was him as an actor, but I think
that's
that was
almost always the case.
Yeah, I think that was
It's
more
very few times almost every time you have a bad actor on a film is when they like have like a model decide to do their first film and they give her like a huge budget movie to be in and they burn it down by themselves.
I mean, the second movie made not the second movie, the remake made no sense.
It's probably
it was just totally different.
Well, you have what they were trying to do is change it from. They were trying to change too much to make it more accessible to what I will call the dummy crowd, the betas, the beta nerds. Because what they were trying to do is instead trying to make it more relatable. So that's why they changed him from being just a regular child killer to a.
Why do you? Okay, it's kind of like my philosophy of the Joker. You don't explain the Joker. You don't explain Freddy. He just does evil stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain it.
Well, they explained him in the first ones.
Well, not
He's explained.
Not
not
like
super detailed.
not like what his childhood was.
Oh,
what his
no,
mom
no,
thought.
no, no,
that
they
didn't
didn't do
happen
that.
until like
No, they didn't
4
do
and
that.
5.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
The Dream Warriors. and stuff.
Even then, they didn't really describe his childhood.
You have
They
to
just
have-
described how he was.
A child killer.
Yeah, right.
Basically, you have to have some mystery behind it. You don't
Right.
need to know everything about the guy.
Yeah.
Well, no, I agree with that.
That's why.
But they do a little bit of explaining of his background. I didn't like the background explaining in the newer one.
What
Is
was
what
he-
I'm saying.
what was
Like,
he
he was
like?
like a
Black?
janitor,
He was a
He was a janitor at a
preschool,
school.
like a elementary school.
and he would like take the kids into the boiler room and
like their whole first half of the movie was like, oh, he was wrongly murdered by the town because what happened was because the cops couldn't find any evidence, they let him go. So the town took it into their own hands.
Right,
and
so
killed
then the
him.
parents killed him. Yeah, right.
Which was fine. That's
That's
fine.
pretty much what happens in the original.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, I get that.
The whole concept was like, oh, we killed an innocent man and he's taking revenge on all of us. And that's all he was doing. Then all of a sudden you find out he was actually this horrible person and he's just doing it to be evil.
Right.
I feel like that whole concept, like that was okay. That was fine. That was a way to explain.
I think
It's Jackie something, right? That's his name.
Yeah,
I have to look it up.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Well.
I think there's a tendency to want to try to explain everything.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's part of the problem is they did more on the backstory and stuff instead of worrying about the kids going into because the murders for the kids were really, really mundane. It wasn't about their
Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah. It wasn't about because that was the thing with Robert Englund. Robert Englund was always about doing horrific things in their nightmares. And making it as torturous and crazy as possible.
And the funny thing about
but like
to fuel their fear.
I didn't even think he looked right though. Like here's the pictures of him. Like
here's the Herman Rorschach. He basically looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Like, I just don't think he looked right. Like
I don't think it was bad. I think they were trying to update it, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't
like
great either.
like the '80s Freddy looks way better than the 2010
That's
Freddy.
because one was more practical effects than the other.
Yeah, he looks more realistic as far as a burn victim goes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's just a burn victim. He's just a really angry burn victim. So
nothing supernatural about that guy.
yeah,
He's just a burn victim.
yep. So to continue with
who do you think?
yeah,
What
I
young
did ask
actor
questions
do you
there.
think would? I don't. What young actors are there
that's true.
that you think could play?
What do you mean by young too?
I mean that you think could play I mean like 30s, 40s.
No.
I mean England's in his 70s now, right?
Yeah, I would say let's knock it all the way back to like 30s because there is some decent younger actors right now.
Who?
Finn Wolfhard.
He's not even that old. He's like 18.
Yeah, he's young, but I'm saying like that's
we
why I
need
said
somebody in the 30s anyway.
that's true.
'Cause that's the whole point of the thing,
Right, yeah.
He's older
Yeah.
and he's been doing nasty stuff for a long time.
We don't put Robert Patterson as freaking.
He's technically 37.
He's screwed up Batman. Might as well screw up Freddy again. Looking like an emo Freddy walking through the hallways.
And just staring.
Yeah.
I am sad Bruce Wayne. That's Freddy Krueger.
I have a knife hand, Belle. Isn't that her name?
Yes.
Belle. I'm going to kill
Do
you.
you remember? Do you remember the part? I think it was this. Was it the second movie? It might have been the first movie where Freddy.
Ezra Miller.
Freddy. Yeah. I mean, the craziness would definitely work. You remember where he slits his own wrist? That would be him in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, the knives, just the.
Honestly, I'm just looking up random Ashton Sanders.
Who?
His name? I don't know who he's part of.
But you think that he would? We're going
No,
on,
for just from his
You're just
physical
going
look.
from looks.
Just
We're just doing looks.
No,
Okay,
I'm just going because I don't know any of these younger actors really. Neither do you. Like, we're still Keanu Reeves is still awesome. Oh my god, Keanu Reeves is Freddy Krueger.
That's really dumb.
No, I'm gonna kill you in your dreams. Whoa, I know kung fu.
They stole my dog.
They killed his dog.
Yeah.
Didn't steal his dog. They killed his
They
dog.
burned my dog.
So it's just a dude with a knife.
right to the ground. He burned my dog right to the ground. That's what happened.
Keanu Reeves is a regular guy with a knife hand with a charcoal puppy next to him the whole movie.
Like a charcoal briquette in the shape of a dog.
No, he's got his ashes on a necklace. Walking around with it.
A briquette dog running around, and the dog's just constantly making the commentary while
So what happens? The dog wakes him up out of their sleep, and then he's sitting there waiting for him.
I have no idea who that. I've seen that guy before. He looks pretty good.
He's in the.
He's in the Monsters.
Yeah, he's in the Monsters.
He'd be really good too. He's
I'm
creepy.
just saying the look.
He's got the looks. Yeah, he definitely has the looks.
He's
For it.
Well, of
got
course, in
looks.
this list, it's Kevin Bacon's number one. But
I mean, I think Kevin Bacon would make a great.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's who Robert Englund wants to play him.
So I'm starting a petition tomorrow for Keanu Reeves. John Wick is Freddy Krueger. So okay. So speaking of the monsters, we'll start with that as our discussion.
You just had to ruin the mood.
who did?
I did. He said I had to ruin the mood that I mentioned that we watched the monsters. So, Dan, you have dodged a bullet.
Well, I saw the trailer just like 10, 15 minutes before the show.
So like let me
I got the whole.
let me put it out there that if you didn't like the trailer, you weren't gonna like the movie. It does not get no better.
I understood what they were going for.
Terrible.
It was like supposedly
garbage,
like a Duncy love story.
Yeah.
About, and then the vampire grandfather didn't like him for some reason.
Well, in the show, because I did start watching some of the episodes, we were right about Lily. She does do the hand thing like once in a while.
Yeah, but not as much as her.
Constantly.
I mean,
So,
without stopping.
Yeah, Lily Monster, she do like the vampire countess thing where she's trying to like move her hands seductively.
Also,
Mrs. Zombie decides to just constantly. So she kind of looks like.
Is it her again?
Yes.
She's
Oh my God.
She's Lily.
I think
He can't stop himself from making her the main character in any of his movies.
So.
because her thing in the early days was she's kind of like a hippie girl, sort of, except in a horror movie.
And that's where
that's where it's coming from. It's the whole love child thing.
And that's the thing.
That's
she
horrible.
doesn't, and that's the funny thing. It's like she's
She's
like
like
Johnny Depp. And
she's
Captain
like in
Jack
one.
Flower.
She's like in one scene going to bed in a casket, and before she's getting in her casket, she's like waving her arms and fingers around. There's like nothing special about the moment. She's just doing it.
Yeah, constantly. And speaking of the Flower Child thing, this is supposed to be set like the same time right before the Monsters show, so it's 40s to 50s. But
50s.
50s,
50s.
50s, 60s.
yes, but
About the same time as Addams Family.
a lot of the special effects, like the stuff like that was going on in the background when she first saw him with like they did the whole thing. You remember the old giant
do you know like
crazy boards that would spin in circles with like
the old Batman with Adam West?
Yeah.
How the background would spin.
Right.
It did that with like hearts all over the place, like 7 times.
Yeah. And one time with lightning bolts, and the other time with like a swirl. And,
Yeah, right.
Are they trying to do
But that's
some
more
sort of? Are they trying to do some pseudo cartoony thing?
Yeah.
It was
really.
So the one thing I will give him props for, it had really good visuals. Like the costumes were almost dead on; they were spot on.
They're on point.
Like obviously he was going for 60s, so it was like these popping colors, like
But the problem
with
is
neon signs and stuff.
But the thing that was going on with like, the backgrounds, like we're talking the hearts thing, that's a more 70s thing. So I like you said, and you couldn't nail down a timeline with this because there was computers in one part. They made reference to dating apps at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to take place in the 40s and 50s.
Are you sure we're not watching an episode of Archer? Because Archer was supposed to be set in the 60s, early 60s, but they had cell phones and computers and satellites and stuff everywhere.
So
and satellite just started to become a thing in the early 60s.
Right.
So
it tries to explain how they lose their house, why they move to
California
to America, and it's so shoddy. Like there's no
through line.
There's no through line to it. They just lose their house to Pops's
it
ex-wife.
sounds like did they pack too much stuff into it?
Yeah, they were trying to just pack.
Like what they should have just set up where like they're just married and they have a house.
Right. It should have been that way.
And
right.
then her father who's the vampire guy? What's his deal?
Pops.
Is that her grandfather or something?
No, it's her dad.
father.
It's her dad.
Okay, so he doesn't like him
Right.
because he just swept off her feet, blah, blah, blah.
well,
And then
he's-
they could have just went, we lost the house, we're going to California, stuff happens.
Right.
That's kind of what happens, but
They have a bunch of stuff in between there.
Yeah, it's so all over the place.
But when they get to California, it's only like that's like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's a half-baked attempt to get a sequel? Is that what this is?
Not even. I don't know.
There's no way it gets a sequel.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I don't
it will.
know.
It's a sequel.
I don't know what he was going for.
But he didn't get it.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't get it.
Because we got to where they get to America
They want to
and they first move in during Halloween.
on Halloween night. They move in.
So they don't realize that there's normal humans. That they think everyone's like monsters and stuff from Transylvania, like in the old show.
Oh yeah, they live in Transylvania, by the way, in the beginning.
Yeah.
So
'Cause in the old
everyone is a monster. Like her, like it opens the scene with her on a date with
I'm fairly confident Frankenstein's not from Transylvania.
we know, but
fairly confident.
so it opens up with Lily on a date with Nosferatu. Like that's how it
It was
opens
also not
up.
from Transylvania.
Right.
That's
So,
awesome.
Will you stop poking holes in this?
well, we
This
poked holes.
cinematic masterpiece.
We poked holes in it the whole time.
No, it's a cinematic masterpiece. Shut up. It is
Well, you did
flawless.
text me that.
Oh yeah,
I
he did.
did.
I said, "Don't you be lying to him now."
It is
I
a
go,
mess.
If Kyle messages me and says it's a cinematic masterpiece, I know it's trash.
You know something's up. So,
Oh, who was the guy that created him?
just some random scientist guy. Then
So he's not technically Frankenstein in the movie. He's
whatever.
not technically
He
Frankenstein.
just has a genius brain, but he's an idiot.
He's not a genius brain either.
I thought there was a part in the trailer where
They almost did like
they were trying to get the
they
genius.
almost-
Oh.
They
they
did
almost-
a young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I was gonna
thing.
say they almost did like a young Frankenstein where he told the helper to go get the smartest brain in the universe, and he messes it up and gets another one.
Dr. Wolfgang is his name.
He overacts his part so badly.
It's good.
It's horrible.
to you, maybe.
Yeah, it's trash. Like
not
it's
trash.
so over the top that you want to just gouge your eyeballs out. Like that's how over the top he is.
So,
Oh, Cheetah walked away after 10 minutes. She went out and just started cooking a pumpkin roll. She couldn't do it no more. And
she's like,
she
I
was
better bake something.
and she was really excited about it. Like, because we all grew up watching the Munsters. She was really excited about it. She made it 10 minutes into it, and she's like, I'm just going to go bake. And I was like, and obviously I'm in the freaking room with Kyle, who's
sitting there trying to
enjoying this crappy movie.
I'm not enjoying the crappy movie. I'm enjoying what the crappy movie's
He's
doing
one of
to
those
Greg.
people that likes blaxploitation movies
So,
because they're
I
terrible.
love blaxploitation.
See, I
movies.
told you. Yes.
So that I'm yelling out in the kitchen for Cheetah. I'm like, can you please come in here and suffer with me? Because I don't have to watch your boyfriend smile through this whole movie.
Well, you should have
Beyonce,
yelled.
sir.
You should have yelled. You owe me for no reason.
Oh, well, part of it was Greg already slammed through his vodka cranberry super
Oh.
fast. So,
Oh, yeah.
So she
I
had to
needed
show
another.
up for
I
something.
needed another one.
Oh,
She was like, "You gonna get drunk for this movie?" I was like, "I might make it better."
yeah. And then and here's the thing. Greg's like, I enjoyed it for the spectacle it was, but I enjoyed more just the pure unadulterated horror
when they first
in your face.
So when they first get to California, they meet the real estate agent,
Yeah.
and when they go on their ride
forgot about
through California, it goes to this really weird. The only part of the movie that's black and white. They're driving in a convertible, and everything around them is paper mache.
It's cartoons. It's old.
The whole scene is paper mache cartoon.
Remember that old cartoon show where it was like, I'm just a bill
Yeah.
sitting on they did it in all that animation.
So he
black
just
and
kind
white.
of randomly decided to change the visual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is just randomly.
Well,
They,
it would have made sense if they explained. There was no indication that they see the world differently than other people. Is
No.
there any indication of that?
What
no.
the
That
monsters?
they see the world
monsters?
differently?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like they're kind of like
The only thing,
because unless they're basically on LSD all the time,
Which, I mean, might be.
you know
who
what I
knows?
mean?
well, the only thing they have like that sets them
Because you
apart-
could have did that for Herman because he's like was reanimated or whatever, and it messed up his brain. They could have explained it that way.
Right. Well, the way they explained Herman was he was like this hokey
comedian.
who didn't really have a good career and died.
So the way Rodney Dangerfield perceives himself.
Yes.
Right.
What if he really was? No one had respect for him.
Right.
So
That's fucking. Sorry.
the only thing that was going on with that had any kind of like their difference in opinion was because they grew up in Transylvania, their idea of normal was like monsters
Them.
and bats
Yeah, right.
and stuff. So when they moved, like in the old show, they used to like make fun of the niece because she was normal and pretty.
Right.
They used to say she was ugly and stuff.
Yeah,
and
right.
They used to like,
Right.
they weren't mean to her, but they were like, she's our ugly niece, so we can't be mean to her. So that
Yeah,
was
they never explained. Well, how's that even come to be? I wonder.
that happens in the regular show. I think they explained that.
Do they explain it in the show?
Yeah, but in the regular show, they actually were just a family, and they didn't really explain the backstory.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like,
Well.
it was a play on what they perceive as normal. It wasn't like
Right.
what Rob Zombie's trying to do. and
So, anyways,
create some backstory.
well, in the original show, Herman Munster works at the
Funeral
home.
well,
carrying caskets.
So while they're at this Halloween block party when they first move in, He's offered a job for the funeral home. So the next day he goes out to go to work, and everyone's outside, being normal. And he freaks out because they look like normal people, and he's calling them monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie.
And then the ending, the ending was like not even ending.
No.
It was like they ran back in the house because they were freaked out by all the normal people. And then somebody knocks on the door and it's their brother-in-law. And he goes, by the way, we're rich.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how they end it.
Yeah. Because
them throwing money.
Well, start poking holes in the movie again. Before Herman Munster
I
married.
think it's all whole.
Yeah.
It's just a hole.
Yeah, it's Swiss cheese.
It's a hole that can never be filled.
Before Herman Munster marries Lily, he's standing outside of the house, and
here we go.
Lily's brother comes up to him and is like, hey, you're the man of the house now, right? And he's like, well, I guess so. And the brother has him sign this contract that signs away all of his father-in-law's property, even though it's not his property to sign away. Somehow Herman Munster's signature signs it away, even though he's not the owner of the property.
His father-in-law's a vampire. He can't die, really.
Right.
Unless he goes in the sunlight or whatever.
Yeah, correct. So I don't
go in the sunlight. He's
so,
gone in the sunlight.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, then there's no problem.
So I don't
He's just
understand.
immortal.
So I don't understand how that was even. That's what I mean. Like the whole thing was didn't think of anything. Like it's literally like there was no story.
The whole thing.
He couldn't write a story.
You know what it
to
felt
save
like?
his
It
life.
felt like it was just a very long version of the show. Just started right then and there with no coherency. They were just going.
But they don't even tell you that that's his ex-wife until he says it.
Yeah, I know. At the very beginning, remember she has the picture with his heart on it, with the heart around it.
Yeah, but it
And he's
doesn't.
like, why do you have a picture of my pops? She goes, don't worry about
that. Yeah,
that.
right. But it doesn't explain.
Yeah, she goes, just don't worry about that.
Right.
But like I said, it was doing what the show did. Just start with a random storyline and go from there, without having to explain it. It was more about the spectacle of it than anything.
The spectacle.
But
the spectacle sucked too.
But the original show was set in this particular time, particular place, at certain rules. So
right.
They're all monsters, but everybody else is normal.
Right.
Which means that everyone else is normal, and they find them ugly or whatever.
Right.
But there's no unusual background.
Well, no, there's no unusual interactions. I mean, there's some in the show, where some people are scared of Herman, they get a weird, they pause and stuff. But there's not.
But it's not vaguely. At
right.
least maybe,
at one point they're on a plane and everyone jumps off the plane except for the pilots.
I forgot about that.
That's like I
Herman
said,
gets drunk on Shirley Temple.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, it's like a psychedelic movie that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yes.
Apparently, he associates the '60s with psychedelia, and that's it.
So another thing that I said to Kyle was the Munsters for the time was up to date. When the Munsters came out for their time was up to date. It wasn't like a throwback to the 20s. You know what I mean? It was an up to date show.
He didn't. In other words, you think he doesn't have the set in the '60s?
Oh, he does, but that's what I mean. I didn't want it to be set.
But the weird
That's
thing,
what I'm saying. Because the Addams Family was set in the time it came out.
yeah,
Right, that's what I mean.
This one
that's
was
what I
not,
wanted.
and then
This
on top
was
of
a
it,
throwback to
during the
60s.
block party. The one dude had DJ equipment and a computer.
Right, and then the robot that marries him is a robot from what's the show where the Lost in Space?
Yeah, the original.
It looks
Lost
like
from
the
Space.
robot from Lost
They're
in
mixing
Space.
Yeah.
metaphors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all the time.
Mixing.
It's
everything.
all over the place. It was not good.
So they basically have to fix. They had to basically choose something, and they didn't choose anything. They just threw it all in.
They
There.
didn't
Yep.
choose anything.
You sure did.
Nothing.
It's like putting whole corn of the cob inside of a pea soup and
Hoping it works out.
hot sauce and some birthday cake, and then maybe some live scorpions. I don't know.
I think he just. I think he just dropped acid and wrote a script.
I mean,
I think that's what happened.
Besides, I don't think Rob Zombie's not a comedy director anyway.
I don't like any of his movies. The only movie of his that I like is the first Halloween that he did, and the only reason I like it is because it gives you a background into Michael Myers' childhood.
No, I mean the popular ones. The people, other people, not
House of a Thousand
Yeah, right.
Corpses.
People like those,
yeah.
but they're all edgy horror.
Right.
because that
show
was the,
movies.
but that was the time where everyone was trying to be edgelords.
I didn't like any of them. I
show movies and all
I
that.
hated House of a Thousand Corpses.
I like the one where they all died in the highway, but that's because they died in the
Is that
highway.
3 from Hell?
No.
Yeah. Oh, Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects.
Oh, Devil's Rejects.
That's one where they got shot by
Yep.
police on the highway. That's amazing
Yeah.
because they died.
Oh, we're in the car. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that
I never
part.
liked those characters at all, so it's fine.
I didn't like it. I don't like any of his movies other than the Halloween one. The one Halloween one. The only reason I liked it is because it gives you a background into the psychology of Michael Myers.
Yeah, like how he
developed into a psycho. And that's it. That's the only reason I liked it. The second one sucked.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Anyways, we watched.
You also like Jason X.
Oh, that.
I know you love it.
I know he
love
just
it.
Such a bad
Did you
movie.
see his heart raced a little bit when you said
And
it?
he's smiling like a
Ear to ear.
It's almost as good as. Whew.
Jason X. That is the worst Jason movie.
That got my blood pumping. Oh, almost as much as Michael Fassbender's shirt.
Oh man. So we did watch the second movie. Well, we watched 2 movies. Dan didn't watch anything.
I didn't watch nothing.
There was
Rode the rails.
another horror movie that
I will sit here quietly for the next 10 to 15 minutes.
that I had already watched. It's a movie called Uma. Is it Uma or Oma? Uma. So, what'd you think of it? I mean, I watched it when it first came out.
I watched it. I liked it. It was really good.
I thought it was solid.
Yes,
It wasn't
was
like a
solid.
movie that like I will go be like I want to watch.
I have
that
to rewatch
again.
it. Yeah, it doesn't
right.
have the sustained power to watch over and over again. But to watch it for that first time was really good.
Yeah.
So, how much do you know about Korean mythology?
Not much. No, I know it gets into that a lot with the mom and stuff.
So, because I play a lot of horror games, there's always like some games, like some of the best ones I've ever played were about Korea and stuff like that, and Thailand and their mythology.
Right.
And one of the things is like if you don't put your relatives to rest, like it's always the job of the eldest child to put their parents to rest.
Yeah, but she moved away before her mother died, right?
Yes, and she abandoned her mom,
Yeah,
and
right.
then because she died, her
mom was abusive.
her mom was extremely abusive.
Right.
But I like the reason why her mom was abusive. Her mom had a mental breakdown and went crazy.
Yeah, because the dad something happened with
So
the dad.
yeah, mom was like a successful dressmaker and was well respected. She was part of a high end family in Korea.
Right.
Then she met her dad, met her husband. Her husband wanted to move to America, made her move to America, and because she, standard, immigration stuff, like she could not handle it. It's
Right.
going from something to completely something totally different. And she couldn't adapt. She was struggling to adapt. So mom started losing it. Dad took the milk and left him there.
Right.
And then mom had a mental breakdown and went crazy because now
Well, she got what's that? Munchausen syndrome, isn't that pretty much what she had? She always tried to make sure.
No. She didn't want to be left alone. Her mom was stuck in America, and she
But every
couldn't
time
leave.
she tried to go do something, she made it seem like
No, she just wouldn't let her leave.
Oh, yeah, right,
she was afraid to be left alone.
it's been, like I said. I watched it when it first came out.
Yeah,
I
so
don't remember every detail.
When the mom had her mental breakdown, her mom decided to take out all her pain, anger, and frustration and needs, wants onto her daughter, and abused.
There's nothing in there. They're all out of date.
Yeah, they're going to be gross, Dan.
No, this is stuff they put in last time.
Oh, okay, well, have fun with those gross cookies.
What is it? Are they raisin?
No, cookies.
Oh, I know they're cookies.
You're a cookie.
What's in them?
They're chocolate chip.
That look like. Okay, keep going.
So her mom, like we talked about, abused the crap out of her,
Right.
and did everything to torture her, so she wouldn't leave. It was all about her just not leaving, not letting go. Couldn't let her go. So eventually, the daughter does escape and leave, and then she moves back into the same house,
right?
That her mother originally had. So her mom went back to Taiwan.
Well, then
Korea.
Korea, and then the uncle sends the ashes back.
Yeah, the uncle came to America to deliver mom's ashes and her most prized possessions for her to put her to rest.
Right.
And
She stuck it up in the attic
yeah, she didn't want nothing to do with it.
where the granddaughter goes up and finds it.
Yeah, well, no, she takes it to the basement.
The basement. Yeah, I'm right.
It ended up in the attic somehow.
Right.
So I liked how it kept blending. Isn't mom's just crazy? Her mother's just crazy from all the years of abuse, or was there an actual supernatural element to it? And it just kept getting. It kept trying to blur those lines.
Right.
Like Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek was amazing.
I loved Hide and Seek.
Yes, it was.
Hide and Seek was a great movie.
So I like that. That's why I really liked it so far. And then at the very end, you actually find out that the mom kind of put a curse on her, because the way Korean mythology works is if you never put them to rest, their spirits will haunt you. And if they have any resentment or hate towards you, they're really going to extra.
Well, then she was afraid of light switches. She was afraid of electricity because her mom
took her favorite lamp that had a broken wire in it. That had a very bad broken wire. Like it was constantly sparking and surging, and wrapped her hand in it and turned it on and burnt her hand and electrocuted her constantly.
So she cut the power off to the house
and became a hermit.
Right. And then the daughter, she'd always told the daughter that she couldn't be around electricity, make her sick, this and that.
Psychosis. It was her psychosis.
So then the daughter's friend is like, hey.
I had my phone the whole time.
Yeah, right.
That's electricity. She didn't get sick. Which I like. I liked it because at the very end, there was a bunch of supernatural element, but at the same time, mom still has her psychosis.
Right.
And has to work her way.
Well, it's not psychosis. It's years of trauma.
Right. Which made her crazy. So
I wouldn't say crazy. I'd say paranoid out of her mind.
PTSD. PTSD is a type of psychosis that's brought on from stress. You have to turn your mic back on, Dan. You look like you were about to.
I prefer the term shell shock, like World War One.
Yeah, because that's way more terrifying.
I wonder when mine's coming.
I don't know. When something traumatic happens to you, Greg, I'll be ready for it.
Or the World War II term, battle fatigue.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. It was a solid movie. I thought it was a solid movie. It was, like I said, nothing that I would ever go want to watch again. But for the first time watching it, I liked it.
It was good. It was. Yeah, right. It was not.
But if we were sitting there watching, and you're like, "Hey, Uma," I'm like, "Yeah, let's pick something else."
Yeah, I completely agree. So I mean, it was not a bomb, and I was actually kind of up and down on it because I was like, it's going to be a bomb. There's no way it's going to be good. And then as it got through, I was like, this is.
Well, I kind of felt the same way as it started. I felt that way, like this is going to be crappy.
Yeah,
and
I was expecting when the mom found out that her friend who does all the outside stuff for her,
the guy,
gave her the college application.
Yeah.
I figured she was just going to go completely crazy and like, get out of my house. And no, they made it very realistic. Like, hey, she's processing it. Yeah, she's mad at him.
Right.
But she understands why he did what he did. And she's not just
Well, irrational. Then she kind of realized she was doing the same thing.
Yeah. She wasn't irrational about it.
And she was still kind of doing the same thing that her mom did to her, wouldn't let her leave. Didn't want to be alone.
Yeah. That, all the stuff she did was actually for herself.
Right? Because that's what happens, right? That's like she dies, right? And she sees her mom.
No, she doesn't die. Her mom's spirit sucks her into the underground.
To
try to possess her.
Right. And then she like talks to her. She's like, "Hey,
she let go of it. She forgave her and let go.
I understand where you're coming from."
Sandra Oh was the lead.
The Asian girl from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. Tomorrow Never Dies. It was the weird one where James Bond had to deal with the multi-million media tycoon.
Are you talking about Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sandra.
She's on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, that's
what I just said.
He was tuning it out because he's like.
Well, you kept saying so about James Bond.
I said
he did
from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
so, he's going on about.
So the director and writer was the same person.
I only know her from James Bond too. James Bond.
Iris K. Shim.
Now you got me saying it. I only know her from Grey's Anatomy. As
Blame me, it's fine.
Iris K. Shim, no picture, but if I like his directing and writing, he wrote a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
He hasn't done anything since. Last one he did before that was like 2013. Oh, sorry. The Foreigner. He did The Foreigner. with Jack Chan.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
he
okay.
plays a
Liam Neeson. He plays Liam Neeson.
He's like a
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah,
character.
it's a good movie though.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Taken was a good movie too.
Yeah, right.
And I like Pierce Brosnan as a villain.
Well, it's not his daughter in that, right? It's like his niece or something.
So what?
I know, but they're
Taken
changing,
2 was
they're
like
changing the story up.
what
just
was
a hair.
Taken 2? Taken.
Oh yeah, and the villains of the Irish Republican Army.
Yeah,
But,
All right.
Which
Because
is taken to what?
Taken 2 is where they took.
Where they go to the American embassy.
Istanbul.
Yeah, they go to Istanbul. They get taken. The dad and mom get taken. The girl finds her way out.
Correct.
She's like lots of running on
The mom
rooftops.
gets-
Yeah.
well, the mom gets. The mom escapes, correct?
No, the daughter escapes. And
Well,
saves
yeah, but the
and
mom
dad.
eventually gets away.
Yeah, after she saves mom and dad, she saves both of them because it was the sons of the
The-
original.
yeah,
guys.
the sons of the original guy. It was the fathers of. It was the dad of the guy he electrocuted in the basement.
Yep.
He was like this big wig, powerful money,
Moss Boss.
Right.
Yep.
and he was trying to
Is
track.
it Armenia?
Yeah, something.
He
like
was
that.
trying to track Liam Neeson down
to torture him.
to torture him and do the same thing to him that he did to his
Yeah.
son.
Yep.
I haven't
And what
seen
was
that one
taken?
in a long-
What
I'll
was
tell you what,
Taken 3?
Taken 3 was in L.A. and his wife gets murdered, and then he's.
I was gonna say I knew the wife died in one of them.
And there's a lot of cars flipping off things that on the highway that make no sense.
He's
whatever.
He's in another movie. It's called Ice something. It's really good actually. It's on Netflix.
I think I know what you're talking about. Look it up just so I'm.
It's kind of like what if the guy? What's that one movie where he gets eaten by wolves at the end?
Oh, that's a good one too.
It's like what if that guy didn't die and had a different job?
Right?
Kind of.
What if Liam Neeson had this job instead?
It's called. It's just called The Ice Road.
Okay.
It's a good movie. And it's about. Well, I won't. If you've never seen it, I'm not going to.
So
I've seen a trailer for it.
what else did we watch recently? We watched the last couple episodes of She-Hulk.
The Gray is the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Where the plane crashes and.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We watched the last couple episodes of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
We sure did.
It sure is mediocre.
Yeah.
The last episode wasn't great that we watched.
The wedding one?
Yeah.
That was better than the one before
Oh,
that.
I like
where
the wedding one. I did like the wedding one. I didn't
Yeah,
like
the one before that,
before
where
that I
they're-
didn't like.
Where
What
they're,
about? Have you seen the most recent one then? Oh,
No.
no,
we haven't
we're going to
watched
watch that probably.
No,
because
because
it-
where she ends up in the Abomination's like psychological retreat.
No, we didn't see
Nope,
that.
we're
one.
gonna watch
with
that.
his
There's
seven
like-
with his 7 soulmates.
No, the soulmates aren't there. At
No.
least they didn't show them anyway.
I wonder why.
It's kind of like like one of those weird like pseudo cult yogi retreats where they have like
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing I could picture him doing from the.
talking.
Well, that's what he said he was going to do when,
Yeah, right.
when he got
Yeah,
out.
and then like I'm not gonna spoil it because there's a
Yeah,
there's
don't.
a pretty big spoiler in this one.
Yeah, don't. Please don't.
If you guys could see the faces, Dan looks like he wants to, and Kyle has this pitiful face.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Please
it.
don't do it, Dad. So, we're going to watch that probably next
The
week. at some
sad
point.
puppy eyes.
Right?
Well, we still got to watch a horror movie too.
Yes.
Do we want to let Dan pick the horror movie since he doesn't like horror movies?
Basically, the only thing in the only thing in the show episode I'm going to tell you is basically she ends up going there because his ankle bracelet.
Oh yeah,
malfunctioned,
yeah.
and then her car gets busted because there's super powered people there, and like a bold man ran into it.
Oh, a bold.
A bull. He's like just some overweight guy who has
Got ya.
bull horns.
Got ya.
And he's super strong. He throws a guy into a car and breaks it.
All right.
So,
That's the
So it's
setup.
like an anger retreat for people
Basically,
with powers.
ends up-
Okay,
that's
I
where
got
it
you.
ends up.
I got
So,
you. I got
yeah.
you.
and she has no
Um,
cell phone reception, so she can't do her job.
Copy.
Yep.
since you don't like horror movies, Dan.
No, I just don't like you.
Oh, thanks.
No, it has nothing to do with
It's just you. I love horror movies secretly. I just want to make sure
I secretly love him.
I just want to make sure I just do everything to defy you and annoy you, Kyle.
if I'm the anchor, I need to perform my job.
Yeah. Just make sure I go down with the ship. So,
While you're building it?
yeah, right? I'm trying to build it. Just keep pushing me in the water.
Jackman Phoenix is.
In there. We'll call it. It's not Jaquan.
Joaquin.
What is
It's
it?
Joaquin.
Whatever it is. I don't care.
Culturally insensitive.
care.
Greg.
Oh, right, Jack Wellen.
Balake.
They have him on the list
nice.
as
D nice.
They have him on the list as
Yeah,
Freddy.
I figured he'd be on there. So,
Johnny Depp.
is there a horror movie series that you would?
Why don't you guys pick it? Because I have no opinion. I don't watch them.
I know.
How
but
should I know?
Is there anything that might?
Have you? What he's asking is there any that you've ever liked that you?
Or
like,
is there anything like a type that you might find interesting?
like a
enough to
genre
watch?
of horror
No,
that you
not
like?
really.
All right, well then.
Because almost all the characters are ridiculously dumb for no reason.
You're
Oh, you
not
mean
wrong.
the victims? Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, it's like and they're all the villains are supernaturally intelligent. Either or.
Yeah, or just super lucky.
It's like if Taken had a villain like twice as smart as Liam Neeson's character, and Liam Neeson dies right at the beginning, and his daughter is tortured the whole way.
Well, see that's
what the movie's like.
so you sound like me when we talk about hero movies, because I hate that they're so powerful that no one can beat them. Then they come with this ridiculous freaking plan. You sound like me in horror and hero movies.
And most of the time at the
you're
end,
talking about horror movies.
the villain only gets defeated because of luck.
Yeah.
So this is why I like.
Or maybe there's a prophecy, but that's about it.
So this is why I like the Nightmare on Elm Streets, because in your dream you can do whatever you want. That's why he's so powerful. But they always beat him by bringing him into the real world where he has literally no power. They literally just bring him back into the real world and beat the living crap out of him.
Yeah, he's just a scary guy with the
Right,
knife hand.
and that's it. But he's only powerful in dreams because in dreams you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's why I like him, because he has a very obvious flaw.
Right. I can appreciate that.
So
But Jason, no way.
No, that's why I don't like. That's why I can't stand Jason.
That's why he loves Jason X, though,
yeah.
because he
it's so dumb.
freezes people and
Yeah,
vacuums.
he dips that chick's face in the and the
Oh
nitro,
yeah,
and then just slams
her head off the. Yeah, I remember it.
that kind of
Or
stuff.
the one dude where he just punches his head off. Or the dude he grabs from behind, the tough army guy, and he stabs him in the chest with the machete. He goes, "You think that little poke's gonna stop me?" And he stabs him with a different piece of metal. He goes, "Yep, that'll do it." And drops over and dies.
Did you watch I gave you the It movies one time. Did you watch them?
I saw the first part.
You just didn't watch the second one.
No.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, don't go there, Dan.
Why?
Because
It's a horrible movie.
yeah, it's bad.
You told me the second wasn't
next
good, so I
week
avoided it.
with next week Halloween Ends comes out. Me and Greg haven't watched the second and third one yet.
Well, I
Would
need
you-
to watch the masterpiece H2O first, don't I?
No,
You've never seen H2O?
I probably have.
You don't need to see H2O.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
Yeah. So, would you be willing to do that trilogy with us?
We've already
You
seen
can-
the first one.
I'd like to rewatch the first one just to be able to
Which
get
one's I have? Okay, this isn't the Rob Zombie one.
No.
This is the new one where it's the son of the original director taking it over and
Oh,
trying to
boy.
So it restarts after the first movie.
Yes.
The very first movie, like when she's a kid.
Yeah. So, would you be willing to do those three? They're actually the first one was actually really good.
The first one was good.
So I'm assuming the second and third one would be okay.
I'll do whatever.
That
My
yes,
job is to be
level of commitment right there. Yeah, I'll do it.
My
I
job
guess.
is to be the curmudgeon because you're so positive and happy all the time. But you're
What
terrible.
am I?
Yeah, no, you're somewhere in the middle, mostly apathetic.
Oh man. So that comes out
But then again, maybe I haven't been paying attention.
right. Then we got what after this? We're like after we get through our spooky spectacular, we have
Thanksgiving coming up.
We have.
Thanksgiving, which I don't know if we want to
Is
watch.
there any horror movies involving Thanksgiving?
There is. They're just
there's
really
plenty of
terrible.
them. There's
Like
Christmas ones too.
the one about like
Well,
evil.
Have you
Santa.
watched Trick or Treat? I think he would enjoy that.
what's the one?
That has like some comedy to it.
There's one. I remember a movie involving Santa where he's like evil and like murders people.
Yeah, the evil Santa. Yeah, there's a couple of those.
Yeah.
There's one where he's a zombie.
I think that might have been the one I was thinking about.
We should have him watch Trick or Treat. The one with the
I can watch Halloween.
guy with the bag over his head. No, I think you would like it though, because it's not like a straight up horror movie. It's got like comedy to it.
This is Greg's
Let me-
borderline psychotic version of comedy.
There's comedy to
Let
it.
me.
It's funny.
I will.
Cheetah,
It'll
if
be
you're
extra
listening,
credit
Cheetah,
if I
if you're
get to it.
listening, back me up on this one.
No, I'm not saying I liked it.
You didn't find any parts of it funny?
I didn't. There was some jokey parts they were going.
Yeah,
through,
well,
but
that's what I
didn't find
mean.
them
Yeah, right.
funny. It just-
No.
You find B movies, terrible B movies, funny, but you don't find jokes funny.
Nope.
I don't know.
Watch Trick or Treat.
I probably will
Yeah.
because Kyle didn't suggest it. So
Because Kyle didn't suggest it. I think you'll like it because it's not as serious as what you think of as a horror movie.
this first Halloween movie is one where Jamie Lee Curtis messes up her whole family.
Yes, yep.
Because she's
Yeah,
so
that's-
worried about her brother coming
Yep.
back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I think you like because it's a lot of really screwed up people having to figure this out. And the other thing I liked is Michael Myers straight killing kids this time in that one. Remember he killed that kid in the truck?
Yeah.
And that was a kid, not like a, 17, 18-year-old,
Right.
It was like he murdered a kid.
He's
was
just
gonna
murking everybody.
Yeah, he was going to murder a baby.
Well, they kind of left that one alone.
Yeah, they left that one alone, but they also
Well,
kind
it
of
totally makes sense for his character.
Yeah, it
he
does.
doesn't care.
Well, so he kills the mom. The baby's screaming.
Is there a reason why he kills people? Did he ever explain that?
No, he's just crazy.
No,
He likes
he's just
killing
crazy. He
people.
wants to kill people.
He just likes killing people. He's got the
What's his
bloodlust.
body count anyway?
I don't know. I'm sure that if you look it up, it'll tell you.
Yeah, let's.
It better be pretty high because if it isn't, well,
It's up there. How many people did?
I just put in Michael Myers body count.
yeah, that's what I was going to go for.
Right there. Michael Myers body count. 92 people.
That's pretty good then. It's not the highest ever.
Excluding the Rob Zombie ones, the original 8, he's killed 92 people.
Yeah, we don't count the Rob. Nobody counts the Rob Zombie ones. Rob Zombie just stopped making movies.
Yes.
Go back to music.
Yeah, you're
Great music. Love his music. Can't stand his movies.
fair enough.
You can talk about making a horror movie in your music all the time. Just don't make one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just save the money. Put your wife into something.
Use your brainstorming sessions as lyrics.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Right?
Just don't do it.
Get your wife at OnlyFans. She'll have all the attention she wants. Because that's what it was
She
about.
can do her little finger things in her pictures. Listen,
I think she's deluded.
it was
She
so
is.
dumb.
It's been 10 years since she's been,
And like she would do like she would do like these shocked facial expressions all the time, and they were like so over the top. Her eyes would get big, and she'd do that.
Or this one.
Yeah, that one.
Is that the one where you want to like
Yes.
hit her in the head the most? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Just the way she delivers lines.
I can see it. That was the way she was in all the other movies that Eve's ever done.
Yes.
Like, listen, like I get like she's your wife and you want to put her in a movie that you're directing, but she doesn't always have to be.
She's not a good actress.
No, she doesn't.
Why is
have,
she in there?
She doesn't have to be the main character. Like she can be a side character.
But then she'll complain and then he'll.
Well, then I'd just be like, "You suck at acting. You're ruining my movies."
It's his wife. He's a pushover. That's what happened.
You
He
think?
has his hardcore image, but with her, he's nobody. He might as well be an empty space.
She probably knows all his secrets. He's like, I'm gonna make a movie. You're not gonna be the main character. You want me to go out with it? You want me to come out that way?
Let me just open my Rolodex
So I
here.
heard you for the blackmail.
It wouldn't be the first
She's
time.
a psycho who really just wants control of everything.
You really want me to tell the public about that? We'll see. I better be the main
You
actor.
can't have anything that bad.
I bet he does.
Everybody knows about what Marilyn Manson used to do, and no one cares.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
That's
he's
fair.
the same generation, so I
That's
don't.
true. That's true. I think. It's
speaking
true.
of-
I think if something came out, we'd all be like, meh.
I was going through like different like news stories from like last 20 years or so,
Yeah.
and I forgot about the Boy George thing.
Sounds familiar. Run me through it.
Boy George hired a male prostitute,
Mm-hmm. As you do.
and then as you do.
Yep. Keep going.
And it was funny because then I guess the male prostitute wanted to use his computer, and Boy George caught him touching his computer. So Boy George tied him to a radiator and then beat him with a length of chain for several hours until the cops came.
How did the cops know?
Because they heard the screaming of a prostitute being beaten with a chain.
Where was he?
Like a hotel or something.
Oh, well, that was dumb.
And it made me laugh because I was reading about it, and Boy George's like defense was like, well, he was trying to touch my computer.
He was off his rocker too.
Yeah. Celebrities are crazy.
Do you remember the do you remember Eddie Murphy and the
Oh, when he beat up that trans prostitute? So weird. What is wrong with some of these celebrities? I had a couple decent movies. Yeah, I can do what I want.
Hey, Mark.
Who was that?
Eddie Murphy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But trans.
So he got tricked?
No,
I
we don't know.
I don't.
do
The story has never really been like. I don't know. Like the story has never really been 100%.
Out there, like
Yeah.
it was Eddie Murphy said he didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
The prostitute said,
That
did.
they had told him.
"Yep."
Right.
Oh, he beat up one, but before that, he was caught with a transsexual prostitute in his car.
Right. Yeah.
And then he freaked out and beat up
That's
another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because he got caught with one, then got crazy and beat up another one.
Right. Because he probably thought they were going to snitch.
And then there's
Snitches
this,
get stitches.
and then the other headline with this: the mysterious death of Eddie Murphy's transsexual prostitute. So I might do some of this. I don't remember that person dying,
I don't remember him dying either.
but either
But
way.
I do remember the story.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And the reason why the prostitute was in his car is because he was giving her a ride home. That was the excuse.
He was giving
It's
her a
better
ride.
than Boy George's one. He touched my computer, so
Yeah,
it's not saying much.
definitely giving him a ride.
I love the article for this too, the Boy George thing. Boy George convicted for restraining, beating a Norwegian male escort.
Norwegian.
Yeah. London jury finds singer guilty of false imprisonment in 2007 incident. So like Boy George was like, I imprisoned him because he was like trying to say he captured him like stopping a crime. Trying to use like a citizen's arrest thing. That's the reason why he did what he did. It was like a citizen's arrest. That's what he was trying to use to get away with it.
By beating him with a chain on the radio.
I mean, listen, I'm all for capital punishment, but
That's not. You're
not
not.
for touching a computer.
Right.
Boy George and Judge Dredd are the same person.
Do you really want to hurt me? I am the law. All right. So that's it for the show. Before we bash any more celebrities for the stupid things they do. We will see you next week with me and Andrew for the spooky, spectacular side of the gaming section.
Barbara Streisand.
Ooh, spooky!